We are here with. Oh, whoa! Gotta turn my speaker off on my phone.
Oh, man,
I just told him.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody's a little unprofessional.
All right, guys. We're really excited. We've been waiting months because Cholo
Years.
Trucker is finally here.
Yep.
Yes.
So thank you for showing up.
Absolutely.
I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. I don't know what camera. Gosh, this setup is crazy.
Right
here.
in the center.
Got it right there, right in the center. No, I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. I watch you guys towards the end of my Tuesday. I'm driving back, and whenever you guys don't come on, that's when I have some colorful words for you guys. But I'm like, Lord forgive me, but it's always great. It's always great. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
All right. So
Eyes on the road, empty tomb.
yeah, man. So I'm excited too, man. We have been friends ever since the gunner fight that you did.
Right.
And I think we met on the Tony A show, right?
That was the first time we met in person. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
was.
right.
I remember. It was with Big Joe,
Yeah.
and I remember you had said like, "Hey, everybody's probably wondering like, what's this guy doing here?" But you were asked to be a part of it,
Yeah.
to give a prayer at first, and yeah, ever since then,
Yeah.
since then we've kept in contact, even though we're hundreds of miles away.
Oh yeah, yeah. So guys, we're gonna hopefully, not hopefully. I know this is gonna be an interesting.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot to talk about and nothing to talk about, and that's probably the best thing we could have right now. So,
We titled this one Seinfeld.
so as you guys know, we do this every single Tuesday. Let's just talk. We say we start at 4, but sometimes it's 4, 4:30, 4:15, 4:20. I don't know what time it is right now. What time is it? 4:08.
6 after 4.
Okay, nice.
That's why you always gotta put the ish.
Yeah.
Whatever time, 4-ish.
Yeah.
4:30-ish.
Yeah, Mexican time.
Yeah, our whole podcast is just 3 guys talking. Today's 4 guys talking. It's called Let's Just Talk. Nobody here's we're not a journalist. We're not professionals. We're not editors of a newspaper magazine. We're just 4 guys with opinions. And we just talk about things that are going on. Tino has a lot of opinions sometimes. But
We figured that if CNN can do it, why can't we?
So, yeah, man. So, anyways, I know, Cholo, a little bit where you're from. Where are you from, and what are you doing up here, up north?
So, originally from the East LA area, moved around all over the place. So I don't really actually have a hometown.
Yeah.
I lived in East LA for 4 years, and I lived in Montebello for 5 years. And that was the longest I ever lived somewhere. Outside of that, it was always a year here, 18 months there,
Yeah.
maybe 2 years over here, but just moved around all over the place all the time. And yeah, that my whole life just growing up in SoCal, and got into trucking at a very young age because the family was into trucking, and that's how I got into trucking and been doing it ever since. But the reason why I'm up here is because one of my buddies from San Jose, Pastor, you know him actually. We went to go speak at his school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he teaches Chicano studies at
Yeah.
a high school. Actually, he moved high schools. He's at a different high school now. And he had told me about this run called Bay to Breakers.
Yeah.
He said, hey, man, it's, you run from one side of San Francisco to the other side. I'm like, okay, cool. I've never done a run that long. So, yeah, I'm like, okay, let's go. And he said, hey, I'm down too. I'm like, cool. He ended up canceling. So I was stuck doing it on my own.
How many miles?
It is 9.3 miles. So
But these are San Francisco miles.
Yeah, I know. No, I absolutely. It's
Yeah,
not. It's
it
not
ain't
flat.
flat.
It's,
So it's a 15K. I've done 5Ks, and the longest I've done was a 10K straight. As far as I've done a 13K, but that's the Spartan race with obstacles in it.
Okay.
So you get a little break from the running, and you do other obstacles. But this is just straight running. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's do this. So I come up here or there, and it was quite the experience. I'd never heard of this run, But apparently people from all over the area.
It's well known.
Yeah, people from other countries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I ran
Wow.
into people from Canada,
I've
people
always
from
known about data
Ireland.
breakers.
Yeah, I've never once heard of it, but there was people from other countries there, and there were some very, very colorful people there as well. It definitely stood out. That's for sure. So finished it, and I trained pretty good and pretty hard for it. But even though never doing a run that long,
Yeah.
I was still nervous. Like, man, maybe I didn't train good enough. Maybe but at the end, I was like, okay, good. I was proud of myself. I thought I did pretty well.
So this is interesting. Is when I met him, he had a YouTube channel. Gunner had a YouTube channel. Gunner's channel was really blowing up, and he was supposed to fight somebody else first, right? Can't remember. Can't remember his name right now. The one who used to be on American Cholo.
Oh, Sonny.
Yeah,
Sonny,
he was supposed to fight Sonny.
Yeah.
And somebody talked him out of it. And then somehow you got thrown in the mix, right? So they asked me to be kind of the chaplain and pray the fight in. So that's when I met him.
I seen the video.
Yeah, so I met him and I'm like, okay, man, he's willing to get in the ring. And then he goes, yeah, I'm going to do this other challenge. I'm like, what? He goes, I heard over there people go from Alcatraz and swim back to San Francisco. And I'm like, you're going to do what? And
That's a swim.
when I seen him do that, and I'm like, okay, this guy has some heart, man. And then you got in a ring again, and then you did another challenge that I never asked you about, climbing some building. Did you ever do that?
I did.
So explain that.
Okay, so first of all, I got to give a shout out because he's in
Go
here.
for it.
Somebody that I shared the ring with was just Buzz. My boy Buzz.
He's on here?
Yeah, I see him in the chat right here.
Oh,
so
nice.
Buzz, if you're still in here, brother, it was an honor sharing the ring with you, carnal. That's a warrior right there. That guy will fight till he'll just keep going, literally till the wheels fall off. So there's the U.S. Bank building in downtown L.A.
Okay.
It's the largest staircase west of the Mississippi, at least at one point. I don't know if it still is or not. And you just climb the stairs. You just run all the way to the very top to you hit the helicopter pad. And that's
How many floors was that?
It's 75 floors or something like that. Just going up, and it starts taking it out of you. I remember I trained for that. And
How did you train for that?
So
Yeah, you keep training. What does that look like?
Like the run, the bay breaker, whatever.
Beta breakers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I understand. And then I saw your video where you put on your GoPro and you were running.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, in
And
the
I saw
desert.
that. I get that. How did you train to go up 70 floors?
Okay, so every I go to Vegas for trucking, right?
Okay.
And I usually stay at State Line, Primm, Nevada, which is going to be completely shutting down 100% 4th of July.
I heard about that.
Yeah, they're pulling the plug on everything. But at that time, Buffalo Bills was still open. So I would stay at Buffalo Bills, and even though they got a little gym, I would just go to the stairs. And I would just run up the stairs and then go down, then run up the stairs and go down. And I stayed there maybe about twice a week. So I would just do that. Go and then I would just go to like a parking structure, but parking structures are just 5 levels or 6 levels and do that. But at Buffalo Bills, that's where it was really getting the training in. And in the summer, it was just like, good gosh, man, because it's
And you're
closed
right there.
in. Yeah, it's closed in, but there's no AC in there. And
How many people did it?
the stair climb,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it goes pretty much all day because they just don't send everybody at the same time.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, they give you a time, and I'm not really sure. I think it's like every 2 minutes they send one person. Because the stairs it's nothing major where it's
Yeah.
like so many people could go up. It's just just a regular stairs, just going up all the way to the top, and you pass up a lot of people. There's water stations. There's I think 2 floors on the way up. I don't remember, like 27th floor and another one like a 50-something floor where they open up the level where you could just rest and hang out. So yeah, that was quite the experience. I'm thinking about doing that again this year. If you guys are ready to rock and roll. It's climbing stairs. You guys do it all the time.
You almost had me persuaded. Man. You almost had me
I mean,
persuaded.
if you look at Empty Tomb, he says right here, "You lost me at run."
Yeah. That is funny.
Hey, you could walk up the stairs.
Wait, Carl's here.
Hold on, we haven't started the show yet.
Yeah, that's officially.
Carl!
All right, now it's official.
Now life makes sense.
So, I mean, obviously the pictures probably aren't showing any justice of what you've seen, but I decided to bring up beta breakers, and I went to images on Google. So if
You're
you
a brave
guys
man.
want to see what probably just a little bit of what Cholo got to see, man, like go to Google and look up beta breakers, and you'll see some stuff, man.
This is the medal that they give you. Now, they don't have any 15K medals.
Yeah.
I did the 15K. They only have 12K medals. But I will tell you guys, I'm not too impressed with the medals that they give out. I don't really like it too much. I'm being honest. It's not one of my favorite medals. But
Yeah, here's another one.
Should you give though a warning before you give that Google search?
No, I mean, as far as what Google is showing, what I see right now, it looks pretty legit.
Okay.
There's some scares to it, but it's pretty wild, bro. I might do this next year.
the images are not for kids, that's for sure.
Yeah,
And-
definitely adult function.
Well, it's unfortunate that there actually are kids there.
Yeah.
There are kids there. There are some families that go there to do the run, and then you get, some of these colorful characters out there that aren't wearing anything whatsoever. And when I mean nothing, they are wearing nothing whatsoever. And I was just kind of like, wow.
I want to talk about that, but let me give a shout out first. Empty Tomb, thank you for the super chat, and because of that, you're gonna get a super cat. Bam! The cowboy cat.
Right there.
All right, look at him.
Wide Earth.
Yeah. All right. So thank you. Shout out, Proud Father John, Empty Tomb,
Dollar Tree
Derek
medals.
Mallory. What else? Bread of Life. He says, Cholo Trucker in the house. He says, Trucker, I would pay to see you beat up Chicano Tube again.
Oh.
I didn't say it. I'm just reading the comments here. What else? That was tight when you swam the bay. We went with Pastor to see that. Thought a shark ate you, bro. Yeah, he wasn't showing up for a while. Like, people were swimming, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do his funeral. Like, he's gone. There's some shark out there just ate some Mexican food.
But notice he never said, I'm going to go in the water to get him. He just said,
He could have seen
it's over.
It's gonna be one of those where he sees me a little bit in the distance, and he walks in there and he feels the water on his foot. He's like, "Nah, man, God bless
No,
you."
I think he's gone.
Well, yeah, he's gone. He's
Like
gone.
a buoy in the water. I think he's gone.
We'll throw on a Charlie Brown shirt in the coffin and just say it's him.
All right. So guys, whoever gives any, we appreciate any super chats. We pay our internet bill with it, even if it's $1, whatever it is. You give us a super chat, we'll give you a super cat. That's the way it works. So thank you. What did I interrupted something? What were we talking about?
Yeah, you said you wanted to talk about
Oh, the beta breakers, man.
Beta breakers.
Like, in all seriousness, though, when you see people running like that naked.
How do you feel?
No. My thing is this, like, honestly, what is going through the person's brain to do that, knowing there's going to be families and children and people? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I think they're thinking, but I wonder what they're thinking. Like, what?
I would throw this out there, right? And again, to everybody watching, when I say naked, but naked.
As the way you're
socks
born.
and tennis shoes.
Everything is out there flopping around.
As the way you're born.
Guys, right. So, yeah, exactly. Except with socks and tennis shoes, which some way, somehow makes it more disturbing. Okay.
Black socks. Why black socks? Right?
Dress up socks. So, it's not even like young people that are like from a fraternity or something, like a dare. It's a lot of people that are actually a little bit older. You got a lot of people in their 40s, 50s, 60s that are out there. I don't think I saw anybody some crazy 23-year-old out there drunk, just like, yeah, woo, let's take it off. Let's go streaking, like Frank the Tank or something. It was a lot of these older dudes.
Yeah.
And that's where, now were there some females? Yes, same thing. A lot older females in their 50s. And that's where I was.
Was it 50-50, men and women?
No, there was many more men.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Many more men. And just like I was telling you guys, it's people that really should be wearing clothes that were doing that. I did not see any good physiques that went completely naked. I mean, it was a
So
lot
they didn't train beforehand.
They did not train, for sure. They were not hitting the gym. They were hitting the buffets, but not the gym. It was just like, wow, look
So
at
if you were
this.
running by him, would you kind of hurry up?
I would. Yeah.
'Cause who wants to be behind that?
Yeah, no.
Who wants to be in front
Nobody
of
wants to see that bumper sticker.
Exactly. So I'm trying to change lanes over here, and then there's one right
There's
there. So
another.
it's like time to change
Hello.
lanes over here.
It was that much?
How many people?
It was a good handful. So it was estimated over 30,000
Wow.
that signed up to do it.
Okay.
Right.
That's a lot. That's a
Every-
lot.
That's what the pictures show.
Yeah. Every now and then, I don't want to exaggerate and say, wow, there was thousands of naked people, but you ran into. I don't think there's anybody out of the 30,000 out there. I don't think there's anybody that went to that event without seeing it 5 times.
So maybe there's 150 people.
Yeah, probably just scatter them around and yeah.
You know, I remember years ago, man, I seen cyclists naked.
Right.
I cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I got to have padded shorts on. I don't even want to imagine. That is not comfortable. You cycle too.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
not comfortable.
It's not. No.
You're just being an exhibitionist at that point. Like it is like that's insane.
But is there like bike seat counselors? Can you imagine the bike seat?
Poor
Or bike seat? Like, I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
So you're gonna be now that you did the run, are you gonna be cycling again?
Yeah. I'm gonna take my bike to go get
So gross.
with clothes on though. I'm gonna take my bike to go get a tune-up because it's been sitting for a while.
Yeah.
I've just been training for this, but yeah, I can't wait to get back on the bike.
Yeah,
It's-
I did 16 miles in Santa Clarita. I think I told you a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the LA River bike trail. That was nice.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
yeah.
When you were on the run and like all the other runners and everything else, because you're saying that there's like thousands and thousands of people. What was the other runners that were clothed? Did they have any expressions? Did you notice anything as far as just kind of like, dang, wasn't expecting this?
Beta Breakers is the topic, the run in San Francisco. So.
Everybody is kind of doing their own thing. I saw people that weren't down with it, but they don't want to be a party pooper either.
Yeah.
So they're not participating in the party in the sense of like egging them on, like, yeah, that's right, but they're just kind of doing their own thing.
They're just running.
Yeah, which is pretty much what I did. I mean, the course, I think like the first mile and a half takes you to this residential area where it just becomes a huge party. There's
wow.
There's alcohol flowing, there's weed in the air, and some of the runners stopped to party with some of the locals right there. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, man, this is like mile 1.5. You got a long way to go, man. You're over here taking a hit off the bong. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough getting to the very end here.
That's the
Oh,
challenge.
so
That's the challenge.
is this the map? So you start over here by the Bay
Right.
Bridge and you end up in Golden Gate Bridge. You go
Right.
through the Golden Gate Park, I mean.
Yes,
through the park.
Yes, that park is so huge. It
Yeah,
felt like
yeah.
I was in that park.
It's
forever.
like Central Park in New York.
Gosh,
right?
yeah, that park was huge.
It's a beautiful park.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the one of the old names for it's the West Coast, New York.
Yeah.
That's why it's all set up exactly the way it's set up. It's
Yeah.
so small.
Yeah.
It's millions of people in a small little
Just
city.
condensed.
But that when
Yeah.
you go in that park, you can't tell you're in a city.
No,
That's how massive
Yeah,
that
that
park
thing
is.
is
It's a
huge.
humongous
Yeah.
park. I took footage on my GoPro, which ended up running out of battery because I think the GoPro only the lifespan is probably about like a little over an hour.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and it took me, according to Beta Breakers online, an hour and 34 minutes to complete it. So,
really good.
but it was a 15K just to make sure the when you see my number and the chip, it'll show that I went a different direction where I go up and then come back down. Because there, it was two options, the 12K or the 15.
Yeah.
And the 15, it really took it out of you because that extra 5K was going uphill. And
Have you ever done
was
the LA
something.
Marathon?
Never. Never, no, and I'm not interested either.
Okay.
I think this is as long as I'm gonna go.
The reason I'm asking is my Sharon's daughter and our son-in-law, they did it, and it seems like it was more of a serious thing. And it seems like this was a little like you were saying, people were partying and smoking
it's a
weed.
party.
And
yeah,
so were you expecting that, or
no, I mean the way like Tino and I were talking before we went on air, and when it comes to like Los Angeles, do you have a lot of that weird stuff going on down there? Yeah, but it's a little bit more contained to certain areas. The West Hollywood or Hollywood. It's not Los Angeles. You're not gonna get that in Pico Rivera. You're not gonna get that in South Central or Compton.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get all that stuff in a lot of these other cities, East LA. That stuff is never gonna happen. So it's contained
Yeah.
to certain parts of Los Angeles, where this was San Francisco. Like it seemed like it was all included there. So there were some people out there that were serious about it. There were some people out there that were like, okay, I'm trying it. There were some people out there that were just there to party. There were some people out there that were there to show it all off. And there's people there that were just there to show their freak flag. And, it was all just one big old mesh all together. And glad I did it. Glad I did it.
Besides all that, that's a huge accomplishment, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's another challenge. Another challenge. You're all about the challenges.
Yeah, I think I'm good for a minute. I'm gonna cool off for a minute or two, though. Like I said, maybe the LA stair climb. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm not even really sure at the moment. I'm just enjoying this, and I just don't like the metal. It's a little bit poor, but
It looks like SpongeBob or something.
it does, doesn't it? Look at that. You guys get look at that. It's just
You want to show them in that camera over there?
yeah.
Oh, while they're showing you that, I want to give a shout out to Madison. What's up, Madison? How you
Madison.
doing? And then there was somebody else who wanted to shout out.
Probably not going to focus. Either way, they can see what it looks. Oh, sort of.
Luciano, what's happening?
Madison. All right.
So did any of
All right,
the,
Nicholas T.
did any of the nudists make it to the end?
I don't. You know what? That's a good question. I don't even know. I don't know.
Or
When
were
I
they just
got
there like just for the show?
well, when I got to the finish line, I didn't see anybody who was nude. I didn't see anybody who was partied out. I didn't see anybody who because I went nonstop.
There was one section on the video where you were not even sure you were on the right track. When was that? Was that in the beginning or?
There was when you split where they say 12K over here, 15K over here. I had my earbuds on, so I wasn't sure what they were saying.
Oh.
So I took an earbud off. I'm like, oh, okay, got you.
Okay.
But when I got to the finish line, I did not see anybody who was nude. I didn't see anybody who was partying out. I didn't see anybody. I'm sure at some point they probably did finish.
Yeah.
But
How did you get back?
Oh,
You started
man.
way over there, ended up at Golden Gate Park.
Right.
That's far.
Yeah, so eventually I'm walking back, and some kid, I forgot where he was from, man. He was his parents were like from Morocco or something like that. He's like, hey man, you wanna split Uber? I'll order it. I'm like, yeah, sure. But when he got the Uber or the Lyft, when he got the Lyft, they kept canceling on us. And we had walked for probably about a mile. And they kept canceling. And it's like, man, because orders in demand here. So we walked about another mile and a half before we were able to get. I was just kind of thinking, like, you know what? At this point, why don't we just walk all the way?
That's like a 16K now.
Yeah, but eventually, we Ubered and got back, and I went back to the Mission District where I was staying at.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go out and see the city at nighttime, but I went to go have late lunch, early dinner with Robert, Chicano high school teacher. And then went back to the room, and I was like, nah, I'm not in the mood, man. I got to put my legs up.
Remember How I Met Your Mother when his legs didn't work in the subway?
Yeah.
So I just hung
robbed
out,
him?
man.
There's a
just hung
couple
out.
spots that are like that. You go over to Hunters Point. You go to Vallejo. You go to Mission District. They have it more contained where it's not so free like what you saw.
Right, right.
But it still goes on over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's just a wild part of California.
You know, the Mission District reminds me of New York.
Yeah.
That part reminds me, there's people just walking all over the place. The buildings go up. Now in New York, I mean, the buildings go a heck of a lot higher, but there's just people all over the place just walking, and the parking there is terrible.
Because because LA is very wide.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
it's a different, it's more metropolis than
Yeah.
San Francisco, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit more spread out, the city. But there in the Mission District, like all the buildings go up, and there's people just walking around all over the place.
A lot of nice artwork.
A lot of nice artwork. The city,
Been in there
it's
on 24th, and man, really nice murals.
yeah, some nice murals. I did a little bit of walking around there. Not as many homeless as once upon a time, but there were still quite a few people out there, you know, doing their drugs and all. But it was just the city life.
Yeah.
City life.
City life.
Lupe, I'm proud of you, mijo. God bless you. Is that
Oh,
is that
shit.
your mom?
Oh, yeah, they're there. My mom's in here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hey,
Hi, Mom.
Hello, Mom.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah, my
Where? I
mom's
don't
in
see
here.
it.
Yeah, right above empty tomb.
Lupe Barajas, 3568.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my mom right there.
Oh, all right.
So why the challenges? Like what sparked that? Was that always been something that
I see
you
it.
that you've done in your life, or did that start at a certain point?
No, you know what? I'll tell you guys this why. I remember even my mom, she's asked me like, well, why? You know?
Why?
Or when I fought, she's all like, ¿por qué? Like, why, right? It's because I've always been a pretty athletic guy, and I didn't do anything with it. You know, growing up, I didn't do anything with it. It was just spending more time, just, you know, living that certain life. You know, drinking and smoking weed, hanging out with the homies, chasing the girls, getting into trouble. And I was always an athletic guy. I remember one of the high schools I went where for punishment, they had me run the track for the entire period. And I went nonstop. And the PE coach there, he's like, hey, man, you really impressed me. You know, I thought you were going to break. I thought you were going to fold. I thought you were going to, you know, punishment, you know. And I remember a couple of kids there, too. They were just like, hey, are you part of the track team? And I'm like, no. You know, they're like, dang.
I'm
I
on
saw you."
detention.
They're like, dang, I saw you just run and run and run. I'm like, yeah. So I could have done, you know, who knows what I could have done. But, you know, I never did anything with it. Looking back at it, I'm like, wow, you know, I didn't get into any sports, nothing. I just let it just all go. And I thought, okay, look, one day I'm probably not going to be able to do any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Very
So
good.
as we're all getting older every single day, or as I like to say, we're getting better, not older. I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do a couple of things where I could look back and say like, okay, look, I did a couple of cool things. You know, I got this SpongeBob medal to show for it. You know, and whenever my sons bless me with grandkids, I could look back at that and say like, hey, look at this. You know, your grandpa did this. You know what I mean? A little bit older, but your grandpa did this. So
You ran a Bikini Bottom.
I ran a Bikini Bottom, man. I was running out there with a lot of freaks, you know, but we made it. So, yeah, that's why. It's starting to cool off a little bit for me. I'm not feeling as hungry for it as I once was. At one point, I was like, man, I want to do everything.
Much as you can.
Yeah, I want to
But
do
I
a
heard you
lot.
say you weren't going to get in the ring, and then you got back in the ring, though.
Yeah, that was yes. That was a little bit different. It was like a little invitation where it's like, hey, everybody just show up and we're gonna throw boxing gloves on and we're just all whoever's there is we just get in and just go rounds with everybody. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man. Let's do that. And I get there and I'm like, good gosh, of course I gotta be the smallest guy. I gotta be the smallest guy here. So got in the ring with 2 out of the other 3 participants.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I saw
okay. Yeah.
It was like a
Well,
what do you call that?
That's one of my questions for you, because I've gotten to know you through David, and so then I've watched some of your stuff, and so when it comes to boxing and getting in the ring, is that something just from what you grew up doing, like, you know, getting into fights? Is it something that you trained? Like, were you training when you were younger? Well, you just said you hadn't done anything with any. Like, what makes you get in a ring?
I mean, I love boxing. The sport itself is my favorite sport. There's other sports. I like football. I like baseball. But boxing, to me, is my favorite sport. And, I would mess around in gyms here and there and hit the bag and do a little bit of sparring here and there. But that was, when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
Once it was time to get into the ring, I had been separated from that for many, many years.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's funny because I'm sure every guy likes to think like they still got it. They still got it. I could still knock somebody out. And then you get in there and then you see yourself, the replay, and it's like, yeah, no, it's not looking the way I envisioned it. Yeah, the way I envisioned it, it's not the way it's going down. So, and people will come out and talk all kinds of smack and everything, but ultimately, you do it for you.
Yeah.
You do it for you, and it's like, look, win, lose, or draw, I don't even really care as long as I go in there and give it everything I got. As silly as it looks, as great as it looks, or anywhere in between, as long as you give it everything you got. Yeah. There's that poem, the credit goes to the man in the arena, not to the critics, not to anybody else, to the man in the arena. So that's kind of the way I just always looked at it.
That's
and
super
it's
good.
That's
Well,
it.
that first fight, I remember, we didn't know till after that he had a broken rib. But he didn't want to pull out and somebody say, oh, you're just making excuse. He fought like that and still won.
That's crazy.
Well, it was an
That's good.
exhibition, but
He still won, though. It's still a win.
It was a 19-year-old kid that fractured 2 of my ribs. Sparring.
Oh, you were sparring?
Yeah, so for training for the fight.
Oh.
To train for the fight.
Oh, that's the worst.
It was maybe about a month before the fight or 3 weeks before the fight. I was sparring this 19-year-old kid, and he hit me with a really good one.
Yeah.
And it fractured 2 of my ribs. And I'm like, holy smokes, man. Now what, right? So I'm like, okay. So I tell my team that I'm training with, I'm like, look, I could still do it, as long as I just kind of keep it covered up. We're not going to tell anybody, obviously. So, we went through with it, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's 9 minutes. That's all the fight is 9 minutes. I'm going to tell you guys, man, a minute can be forever. Depending on what you're going through, a minute can be a long time, man. And
I've never gotten a ring like that, but I've
messed around with gloves. With
I've gotten in enough
friends.
fights when I was younger and understood.
1 minute is forever.
That 1 minute.
That's a long time.
You go 3 minutes with a punching bag. I'll tell you, a lot of people don't think it's much of a workout, but it is one heck of a workout. It's like, wow, sometimes the punching bag is the one that wins because you're not standing at the end. You're like, gosh, I'm beat up.
That first fight, when I just got to know you, I'm like, if Gunnar gets you in that first round, because he had weight on you.
Yeah, yes.
But once I saw it go in the second round, I'm like, okay, he's going to gas out now. and it's exactly what happened.
It was
that's a long time, man.
Well, you were saying, that, because of you didn't use your athleticism when you were younger.
Right.
But did you read something? What sparked that? Like, what was that? Boom. Like, you know what? Dude, I'm going to go back. I need to take this back.
when I was maybe in my earlier 30s, I don't know, 32, 33, somewhere around there, maybe 31.
How young are you now?
I'm 44.
Okay.
So, somebody was telling me about a mud run.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
hey,
They got
yeah,
those
you
out
know,
here, too.
yeah, hey, you should do a mud run. Now, I was thinking, you're just running in mud.
I mean,
And I'm just
that also.
You know, and I'm just thinking, why would I do a mud run? You're just gonna run in mud because that's all I'm thinking, right? Like that is so foolish, man, right? So, somebody else. Oh, okay, so what I was telling you, I was telling somebody else. It's like, hey, somebody said I should do a mud run. Like that's stupid. You're just gonna run in the mud, you know? Like that's. And they're like, oh, we did a mud run. I'm like. I just said it was stupid. This person telling me that they did a mud run, you know, and I'm like, oh, really? They're like, oh, yeah. Oh, man, it takes a lot out of you. You know, we had to climb rope. We had to, go over. They're naming all these obstacles. I'm like, wait, all that's in a mud run? And then they kind of broke it down to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty cool. So I signed up for a mud run, Mud Factor. That's the first one. I'll always remember that. I went and I did it, and for one reason or another, that just kind of sparked a little interest, and I started just taking on, doing more mud runs, more challenges, different things, and it just started growing from there.
That's
So
cool.
I don't mean to throw another one on you, and hopefully it doesn't spark you or anything. But during Halloween, out here in Oakdale or something, there's a zombie run. Where there's people that will chase you as zombies.
Oh, wow.
Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, I have.
I don't think it's a long one, but you're like running for your life, and they're trying to stop you from finishing your race.
Oh, man. You know what?
Did you feel that pull right now?
I would, no, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good on that one, and I'm good on the kickboxer run as well.
Kickboxer run.
Yeah, remember in the movie Kickboxer, the
the
trainer
dog?
comes up to Van Damme. He's all, this will make you run faster. He's got a piece of meat.
Yeah.
And he's all
Oh.
like, this? How? He puts it on him, and then he sets the dog off on him. And now the dog's chasing him. So I'm like, no, I'm good on that one too.
Yeah.
I'm good on that one as well.
I gave myself a goal. I gave myself 10 years, and my 10 years up in 2031. But by 2031, I'm going to do an Ironman.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my goal. That's
Where's that at?
I don't know where I'm going to sign up. It'll probably be somewhere.
They have a different places.
yeah,
don't
it's
they?
What's an
different.
Ironman?
An Ironman starts
heard of
off.
it, but what
It
is-
starts off with a 2.4 mile swim. So that's a 1.2 out.
Like
mile,
a triathlon?
Yeah, it's a triathlon. So it starts off with a 2.4 mile swim into a 112 mile bike ride into a 26.2 marathon. So I started training for that about 4 years ago or something like that. And in the process of training, I had 2 heart attacks.
Oh.
And it was like, okay, that kind of set me back. So I was like, all right, cool. So I have a good friend of mine. He was just like, so what's up, man? You still training for that? And he's trying to make fun of me. And I said, you know what, bro? I know you're trying to cap on me and make fun of me. I said, but you know what? You're waking me up, bro. And so this last week, my wife and myself got our vests, started just walking just so we can get used to the leg pain and all of what it's going to take. I'm more about my legs because the legs will get me further, the furthest I need to go more than my arms or anything else. And I got to start building up my wind flow again.
Your stamina.
Yeah, my stamina.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot, man. It's gonna be something. It'll be the biggest competition I've ever done in my life.
The one challenge, the only one, you already know which one it is.
Right,
The one
yes.
challenge in my life I want to accomplish, and every year it's going to get harder because I'm getting older,
Oh,
is riding my bike from San Francisco to Santa Monica. And there was a year where we were going to do
Right.
it, and Sharon and we had a few other people jumping on board.
How many miles is that?
It's a 6-day thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember, 400 something miles maybe or something. It was roughly 65 to 75 miles every single day. And we were going to stay at hotels, you know what I mean, along the way. And the year we were going to do it, that's when that huge storm came and destroyed a lot of the Highway 1. Remember that?
Yeah.
So we couldn't do it. And I don't think I wasn't physically ready to do it anyways, you know.
And also, we didn't do it because I got hit by a car.
That's right.
Yeah, I got hit by a car.
While you were training.
Yes,
That's right.
I was training for that bike ride. We are gonna do that bike ride, and it was raining outside, And I'm
You
like,
had
well,
the GoPro on.
yeah, I had the GoPro on, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, rain or shine, we're still gonna be bike riding. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't let the rain stop me. So I'm out there training, riding the bike, and I get hit by. I don't know, maybe a mile away from my house, and I'm going, and pow, I go flying. I land on my head. It cracks the helmet open, and the
Wow.
person leaves.
Yeah,
It was
I
a hit
remember
and run.
that.
Yeah,
so
it
when
was a
he
hit and
called
run,
me,
yeah.
he's like, "Hey man, I got hit," and
Right.
that's right. And then that storm came, and I'm like, "Yeah, some's telling us not to
was a
do
sign,
it."
yeah.
God said no. God said no.
no
But that's
kidding,
still
man.
something I want to do. Right now.
Yeah.
I am as healthy as I've been in many, many years. So I'm starting to feel that again. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to, it's always stuck in the back of my head. That's something I want to do as well. I don't know how soon,
Yeah.
but definitely it's something I want to do.
For me, it's always been the athletic part. For me, is more of whenever I do start to have grandchildren, I want to be able to run with them. I
Right.
want to be able to keep up
Right.
with them. They want to do this, let's go and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously not going to be whenever I was 20 years old, but at least it's not like, you know what, if they hit
Play
me and then,
basketball with
like
them,
if they
or-
hit me and then they try to take off, I want to be able to catch them.
Yeah,
So-
you know, I mean, mi abuelita, my grandma, she was sick the entire time I knew her. You know, she was sick. She could barely move. She didn't walk well. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to be like that. I want to be like that with my grandkids. When I have grandkids, if my sons are watching, make that years from now.
Yes. That makes two of us.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I want to be able to move. I want to be able to, you know, mess around with my grandkids, and I don't want them to see just old, beat up grandpa who's just, you know, I can't get out of the chair or, you know. So, yeah. Because my grandma, she was like, God bless her soul, but she was like that. She was sick the entire time I knew her.
Wow.
You couldn't really move around. I'm like, man, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that. When
Remember
I
that
have
movie where those
grandkids.
kids were running with Kevin Costner?
McFarlane USA.
McFarlane,
Yeah,
eh?
McFarlane
McFarlane.
USA. That's a great movie. Highly
That's a good-
recommend that
Have you
movie.
seen the overpass? It has the
The runners
runners on the overpass.
on 99.
No.
Yeah, when you go down 99, you're gonna take 99 south.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, look for it.
When you
Yeah.
pass
You'll see it.
McFarland, the overpass railing has wrought iron of like silhouettes running.
Yeah.
Nice.
About
I
that.
love that
McFarlane.
movie. I love that movie. That's a really good movie. I highly
Yeah,
recommend that
it says
one.
McFarlane on there, and it has the kids.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a good movie.
But
That was a good movie.
I haven't seen it in a while. I saw it when it
I
came
remember I
out.
was mad at Mickey because she was like, really want to watch this movie. Mickey is my wife, and she was like, I really want to watch this movie, and I was like, dude, this movie sounds stupid. And then so it's about some kids running in McFarlane. I said, where's McFarlane? And she was like, we pass it all the time. I said, okay, whatever. So I sat there and I was just like, I think this was the first time I've ever saying it out loud to her, but it's like, yeah, man, that was a dope movie, man. I really appreciated that movie. And so I really liked it. So yeah, that's a good movie. Check it out.
Yeah, the fact that they picked Kevin Costner to play that role.
Yeah.
You know, he did a great
Yeah,
job.
he did.
Yeah.
He did. I'm a Kevin Costner fan though. He
Yeah.
does great work.
Yeah, if you build it,
they will come.
yeah, they will come.
And okay, I like Kevin Costner. I don't know if we're segueing here, but I like Kevin Costner. Is he just kind of the same guy in every movie though?
Yeah.
He's kind of like the dude from Terrence. What's his name? Terrence Howard. Is that
Yeah,
his name?
Terrence Howard?
Is he the one that comes out in Hustle and Flow?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yeah.
he's the same guy.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
There's a couple guys that are known to be great actors, and I look at them and I'm like, okay,
Like
they're
method actors, they will completely change.
They become the character.
I'm like, okay, that actor is great, but this actor is better because this other actor. Okay, for example, you got Robert De Niro and you got Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Now, people recognize Robert De Niro a lot more than Joe Pesci, yet I say Joe Pesci's a much better actor because Robert De Niro, he's pretty much the same guy in every movie you see. Where Joe Pesci, if you look at him from
Vinny.
Goodfellas, My Cousin Vinny, Lethal Weapon, those are
Home
all-
Alone.
Oh my God.
Home
Home
Alone.
Alone.
Those are all completely different characters.
Bro, one of
but,
my-
But when
oh,
you
sorry.
see Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
even when he plays Meet the Parents, he's still this kind of serious, kind of mafioso kind of guy.
Anger
It's
management.
Analyze
the
that.
same.
Or analyze
He's
this.
the same guy. He's good at it. He's
Yeah.
good at it, but he's the same guy
Yeah.
in every movie.
Yeah.
Dude, one of my favorite characters of all time is Joe Pesci, Lethal Weapon, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
Man, that is hilarious when they're talking about, especially when he got into that with Chris Rock, and they were going back and forth about how they screw you with the cell phone. They were using other language, right? But man, that scene is so great. I don't know if you know, but that scene wasn't even written in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
They
They
ad-libbed
just
it?
free float.
yeah, one of them started it off, and then one of them just kept going. And that they had obviously the director realized where it started to like fall off, and it was just like, okay, let's cut it there, and they added it to the movie. Yeah, that Joe Pesci. Yes, I agree with what you're saying there.
Yeah, that was Lethal Weapon 4 that you're talking about with
Yeah,
Chris Rock.
but
and-
he was in
Part
he,
two and on.
two and forward, right?
Yeah, 2
Okay.
and forward. Yeah, and apparently they're making a part 5.
Yeah,
serious?
unfortunately.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
just
they're-
leave it alone.
There's
Just
a lot.
leave it alone.
Well, there's a lot of movies there that they're messing around with. They already approved a prequel to Rambo. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone approved. He's going to be involved
Oh,
in
he
the movie.
approved it.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Obviously, he's not going to be Rambo. I forgot the name of the actor, but it's going to be a prequel to it. They're making a Miami Vice movie
Well, a
called
prequel, so before.
Before First Blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
How
that'll
he
be
became that.
Of how he
How we became
That's
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. I mean,
I
that's
just watched
another-
Rambo like a month ago. The
Okay.
original, yeah.
First Blood.
Yeah, it was good.
So it's going to be a prequel to that. They got a Miami Vice movie coming out because of the one that they did with Colin Farrell was gosh awful.
That was horrible.
Oh, it was terrible.
That was horrible.
But this one's going to take place in 1985. So I think they're going back to the origins of what the show was,
Nice.
which is my favorite show of all time.
Those are the suits right there, bro.
Oh,
the
man.
wicker shoes. Those wicker shoes. That's all I can remember. I used to want those so bad, man.
Who here has seen Michael?
I have.
You saw it?
Yeah.
I saw it. You haven't seen
Oh,
it?
The
no.
new one?
Have you seen
I
it
haven't
yet?
seen it. No.
Haven't
Okay.
seen
No,
it.
no, no.
Okay.
Is it? I hear great things about it.
Yeah, I read a lot of good things about
Okay,
it.
I wasn't a huge Michael Jackson fan, but
Prince or Michael?
oh, Michael. Yeah,
Yeah,
Prince
okay.
is a little bit too,
Yeah.
I don't know, too beta breakers for me.
Look at it, doing the sissies. Wrong one. I meant this one.
Yeah, no, Michael has much better jams than Prince.
Oh.
In my opinion, he's
Okay.
got much better jams.
Okay.
I was never like a huge fan of Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
but for one reason or another, the movie never really stood out to
No?
me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Now I hear great things about it, so I will watch it at some point.
I have my opinion everybody knows the story, so it doesn't,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get,
It's
but
his nephew, right? That plays
yeah,
it.
my opinion is this. If you're going to watch that Michael movie thinking you're going to, learn about all the scandals and stuff, then don't go watch it. If you're going to go because you love the 80s, you're going to enjoy it. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I went
So-
strictly because I'm a Michael fan.
Yeah.
And I grew up to
I just-
Michael.
yeah.
You know what I mean? During the 80s when we were coming up, man, it was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna. The 80s music was something different.
Yeah.
But I went strictly because it was Michael. I thought I was going to go watch. Have you ever seen the VH1 Jackson story?
No.
I did.
Okay, so I
think
thought
I
I was.
did.
It was like a mini series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to see more of that, and it wasn't. And it was really good, man. The people who made Bohemian Rhapsody are the ones who did this
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
So I knew that as long as they followed the same format, it was going to be pretty good. So I enjoyed it. But again, I'm a Michael fan. And we're sitting in the recliners, and the whole time my feet are moving like this, trying to if I was
Trying to
dancing.
moonwalk?
Yeah, I was like if I was.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. My boys went and they were texting me while they were watching the movie. They were like, "Dad, I want to get up and dance." Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, it was good. For
Yeah.
the record, I am a Prince fan, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I am,
But I'm not Beta Breakers.
No, I am.
For the record.
I'm like Charlie Murphy said,
thanks.
you know where you got that shirt at, and it wasn't the men's section.
For the record. What am I for the?
For the record. For the record.
Yeah,
For the record.
when it comes to music,
the
I'm
record.
more of a Prince fan, but obviously Michael was way more entertaining. It's just what it is.
Now, as far as song compilation, numbers of songs that are on that list, who do you think has more, in your opinion? Hits.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
Michael.
Mike,
Yeah.
got
this
it down.
guy's gotta
So
be
my
Mike.
thing is this, though. If we're going to talk strictly about the music with no lyrics, right? I look at that as again with Prince because Prince did a lot of his music, if not like he did like 95% of his music.
And that's where I split it. Michael is a great entertainer.
Yeah.
Prince is a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely.
Quincy did all
Yeah.
Michael's music. He did Off the Wall, he did Thriller, and he did Bad. And so, I mean, Quincy
Yeah.
is Quincy, but if you're putting Quincy's music against Prince, then I'm going with Quincy. But yeah, that's
like,
why.
Like for me, I'm a Michael fan more than I am
The
Prince.
entertainment.
But I love exactly that. Like,
Without a doubt.
but if I can't say Prince is more talented than Michael. I think it's very different. Very,
One's an entertainer,
exactly.
one's a
Two
musician.
completely different.
I think how he said more of a musician,
Yeah.
but probably not more talented. If you want to go ahead and put a better show on to entertain
Yes.
people, he's got to be Michael.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
got to be
Yeah.
Michael.
Absolutely.
Prince was a musical genius,
Yeah.
though, musically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mike was an entertainer.
Prince paid more attention to the music coming out and what he was doing in his art, where Mike was more about impressing you.
Our Poetic says Prince has a ton of music that was never released due to record deals. I believe that.
Yeah, no,
for
that's
sure. Yeah.
That's
For
very
sure.
true.
Yeah.
He says that Prince himself.
Come
before
on,
he
man.
died. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Prince was something before his time.
I don't know why. I never Prince. I don't know a song that I really like of his. I mean, there's songs that I heard where I'm like, okay, that's okay.
Doves Cry, Purple Rain.
Purple Rain,
Little Red Corvette.
Little Red Corvette. Yeah, they're okay. They're okay. I don't think it comes close to a Michael though.
Okay.
I don't think it comes close to any of the great Michael songs.
I'm old enough to have seen Thriller when it debuted on TV.
Oh yeah.
The
You know what my
Thriller
brother-in-law always says? Like he tells my children, he says, Michael is the only music artist you know of that they stopped national TV to promote or to show his video.
Yeah. It was
you remember that
like
in the
a
80s?
premiere.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it was a
yes.
Friday night.
Yeah.
It was a Friday. I remember that as a kid.
The whole world was watching that video.
Yep.
Yeah.
Billie Jean,
Mini
Thriller,
movies.
Yep.
Yeah, Thriller is, I mean,
Dude,
possibly the greatest music video of all
Ever
time.
made.
Oh yeah. Because it's like a nice little short movie
Yeah.
that goes with it. I don't think that we'll ever get anything like that. I think times have changed so much. You know, you had Elvis, right?
Yeah.
Where people were just like
Yes.
dying for, right? And then you had Michael Jackson. I don't think going forward, I don't think there's really anybody that hit that hard.
I think that superstar is done with because of internet. Entertainment is so fragmented now. Back then, it's like everybody had Channel 10, Channel 13, Channel, you know what I mean? So, and all music was on MTV. Now, like, there's people, like, I'll be talking to my son, Abraham. He's like, oh, yeah, this guy's super famous. I'm like, I never heard of him.
Right.
You know, you get that a
yeah.
lot. So now there's different genres, and people can be really famous in that type of music or in that. And even then, they're fragmented, even within rap.
like, I just found out who Mr. Beast was.
Yeah, Abraham told me who that
Yeah.
was.
I'm
Oh,
like,
the YouTuber.
I just found out who, like,
Oh,
not
okay.
even that long
Okay.
ago.
Oh, well, I mean, the
Like,
only reason
months.
I found out about him was because of my children.
Yeah.
Because
My,
they
my,
follow
nephew,
him.
my
Yeah.
nephew wanted the candy bar. And I was like, mijo, that looks like a cheap candy bar. We're at Walmart.
It is a cheap
And he was
candy
like, no, this guy's a multi-millionaire. And I'm like, dude, you're 8, right? What are you talking about? And I was like, go get a Hershey's, right?
Right.
You know, go get something you know that's good. And then that's when my brother-in-law and sister-in-law were like, no, you don't know who Mr. Beast is? I was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't know who that
Abraham
is.
introduced me, so.
bar. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I same thing. I've asked my sons, like, who is that? So- and they would tell me, like, oh, he's pretty huge. You know, like I watch wrestling, and every now and then they'll go ahead and have like some rapper on there.
Okay.
I don't know who the guy is, and I'll ask my sons, who is that? He's like, oh yeah, he's huge, he's big. And I'm like, okay, apparently he is. But you know, I mean, once upon a time, everybody knew who Tupac was.
Yeah.
You know, like that was huge. But like how you're saying, Pastor, there's just so much out there.
Like, what's that one artist where a bunch of people died?
Travis Scott.
Yeah. I had never even heard of that dude until that happened. I'm like, who's Travis Scott? I don't even know who this dude is.
I got a funny story to that. Okay,
All right.
I mean, not funny that people died, you know, but so I was doing the round table on my channel, right? And they brought it up, and it's like, yeah, Travis Scott, you know, and I'm thinking like, okay, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm over there, I'm asking questions, right? Like, oh, okay, you know, cool, and gosh, wow, that's the whole time I'm thinking about a white guy.
Because the name?
Because the name,
Travis Scott.
because the name Travis Scott,
Yeah,
and
he
we
ain't
we
that.
came back the following week, And then I admit it. I'm like, okay, I looked into it. I thought the whole time we were talking about a white dude.
Yeah.
Right. So when I was talking about him, I was picturing a white guy. His name is Travis Scott. Then I go when I look, I'm like, oh wow, okay. He's definitely not a white guy.
Yeah, but when that
For
happened,
sure.
that's when I realized, okay, I don't know who's famous anymore. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because this guy was massive, so many people, and I'm like, his name meant nothing to me. Still doesn't, but I mean, his name really meant nothing to me at that time.
So there's a lot of talk.
He said De Niro's a corn dog now.
He is, man, and that's a nice
predilection.
way to put it. Dude. It's unfortunate for that fool. There's a lot of conversations with my children, so that's how I find
I
out.
like corn dogs. Let's not put them in the same categories.
Yeah.
Let's just not start talking about corn dog on a stick.
Yeah. So that's how I find out about a bunch of these guys. Like there's the Drewski, right?
Yeah.
You know who Drewski
Yeah,
is,
now,
right?
now I do.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he's,
My son showed. Yeah.
he's humongous. There's
Well, he's a big
Like,
guy.
well, physically,
kinds
you
of-
mean?
no. The stream wise.
Yeah.
There's another one. His name is Kai Sinet, but I've always
Never
like,
heard of him.
Exactly. And this guy is a crazy multimillionaire, dude.
Really?
Hundreds of millions of dollars he's worth from streaming off of
That's
that.
crazy.
And so it's just like
Wow.
I pay attention to it only for the reason is like who are you looking at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that way it's like because once we learned about parenting, like what you can and cannot watch, it's like let me see. I try not to be my dad where if my dad didn't like it, I
Yeah.
couldn't watch it. I don't want to be that. You know what I mean? So I switched up a little bit.
Yeah.
I might have switched up too much to be honest about it, but whatever. We're not getting into that. And so that's how I find out about a bunch of these different people. So it's just like I said, for 50, when people, like, if I'm talking, I told my children about when 50 started doing the Diddy thing,
Yeah.
right? And started doing it.
Yeah, when he was
and I was
climbing.
like, yeah, man, I like 50 way more than I liked him I like him more today than I like him as
Yeah.
a rapper. He was a rapper?
What?
I said,
They
what
didn't know
the-
50
Really?
Cent was a rapper.
I said,
Your
what?
kids didn't know that?
Nah. So the older ones did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the younger two-
younger
the younger
ones,
two didn't.
They only know Fifth as what you watch on TV or that kind of
That
stuff.
blows me
But
away.
you know what? That makes sense because I had to play 6 in the morning
Yeah.
to my boys
Oh.
for them to know that Ice-T was a rapper.
Yeah.
Right,
LL Cool J.
right.
Another one.
Well, no, well, they knew about it. I'm a big LL fool.
No,
They
but what
knew.
I'm saying is a bunch of people. See, it's because you're a Cool J
Yeah.
fan. But if you're not a Cool J fan and you don't play Cool J music, people
yeah,
aren't knowing
absolutely,
that he's
yeah.
a rapper.
I say, look, if we take a poll for people, I don't know, 35 and under, right? And we throw a couple of names out there. Will Smith will be one of those
Yeah.
guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you guys know, okay,
Yeah.
is this an actor or is this a rapper?
Yeah.
I think everybody would know them as actors. Maybe even Ice Cube. There might be
Absolutely.
some people
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
might think
Yeah.
that Ice Cube is an actor and maybe he got diddled a little bit into
That's
rapping.
wild.
They're like,
you know?
I thought he ran a basketball league. That's it.
Our Poetic said Prince, best Super Bowl performance ever.
Yes.
Dude played in the rain and could have got,
Absolutely.
and he sang Purple Rain during it. And then he said, my wife said we're just old. Austin says we're not missing much of the modern music. Most of it is untalented nonsense.
It really is.
Oh man, I was talking to somebody who's in the music industry. I interviewed him, and he said he keeps up with all the rap and everything because he has to because
Yeah.
he's in the business.
Yeah.
But he told me straight out, it's all it's all watered down. It's a bunch of corny stuff, and I'm like, I remember the day that I just couldn't really listen to much hip hop anymore. And I was trucking in Southern California, especially years ago, I don't know about today, but years ago, Power 106 was the station.
Yeah.
Right? Power 106, Big Boy in the morning.
Oh,
yeah.
Power 106,
Remember
right?
he would do the crank calls?
Oh yeah. So I remember I would have it on the station, which is not even on the station 106, it's 105.9.
Yeah.
But I remember trucking, and this is probably like in the somewhere in the early 2000s, right? Maybe a little bit before 2005. And I started realizing like man, I'm not really liking any of the songs that they're playing. One day it just kind of hit me like, man, I'm not really digging any of these jams, you know? It wasn't like
You just wanted to hear Big Boy. That's it.
it wasn't like the 90s stuff or even the 80s stuff. It was just like, okay, you know, some of the stuff started changing. And then when it started going a little bit further, a few more years, it just started sounding like a bunch of instruments being thrown down the stairs. And then just guys just mumbling.
Oh,
you
wait,
know?
man, I keep hitting the wrong one.
And then guys just mumbling. And just would like rack it in the
You're like,
background.
oh, that's a hit.
And you know, it goes, okay, am I just getting old or?
Yeah.
Because I can still appreciate, like, even though, you know, I don't really listen to too much rap anymore because of a lot of the stuff that it talks about, but I can go back and say, like, okay, yeah, that was a good jam right there. You know what I mean? Like, wow, the beat, the flow, the lyrics, everything. And you compare it to anything today, it's just like, good gracious, what are we doing here? You
There's
know?
very few things, like even my kids, just to like, I'll hear them, if they're going to play something loud, it's going to be like 90s, 80s, 70s, Gap Band.
They are playing that, or you are?
No, them.
Okay.
Like they'll play, because they grew up with that. So they would hear that from me and mom.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like, I'm sure they listen to other stuff too, but they know that genre, they know those years, and it means something to them. Yeah, you know, and so on the music side, it's that connection.
Yeah.
You know, but it was funny, like I said, when I played that 6 a.m, Justin was like, he was listening, he was like, that was dope, Dad. Like that's Ice-T. What? It was like a year ago.
Wow.
Trying to gain your good graces playing that music because they're going to ask you for money.
Jose Chicano says De Niro has severe TDS.
Yeah.
He's you know, there is quite a few of actors that have just gone like
Yeah, it's
bonkers,
crazy.
man.
It's
where I
crazy.
was like, wow, you know what? I don't really care what you do outside, but when you start being noticed for what you're doing outside of your acting, now you're just kind of like, wow, man, you really
Gene
Really gone down
Gene Simmons, right? Kiss, that's Kiss?
Yes.
Okay, so Gene Simmons, one day he got asked about, what did you vote? He says, what does it matter? He said, I remember the time whenever I would vote, when I first was able to vote when I was 18, we walked into a little box, it had a curtain, we closed it. We voted where we voted, and then we put it into a box, and then that was it. Nobody was here to ask us what we voted for. And I'm not, who I'm with or who I'm for or who I'm against doesn't need to be known. That's why it's done in privacy.
Yeah.
It's you guys that are ruining this wonderful country. And I mean, Gene Simmons, of all people, to be able to say that stuff. And then you have fools like Tom Hanks, who is done phenomenal movies. Robert De Niro, phenomenal movies. Meryl Streep, phenomenal stuff, dude. And these are people that we all grew up with, all four of us, man. And it was just like, now it's hard for me to just
I can't
look at you, bro. Like, if I could just slap you and run, bro, I would probably take that opportunity. You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh my gosh.
You wouldn't just stand there for at least 2 seconds?
Well, I always say that about Mayweather because I would love to slap Mayweather and then I'll just take off running. That just gonna hurt me.
Our Poetic says, just wait 5 years, everything will be AI for music. Decentralized media is probably the best thing and worst thing that has happened. I agree that there's an argument that it hurts cultural cohesion. Yeah.
They're gonna have AI voting, man. Yeah, you know, everything has become so political. It's crazy. You know, I always tell people, listen, I don't care who you vote for, what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care why you vote the way you vote. If you vote because you just lean with this certain subject or that certain subject, or you're with it. And the thing is also, I want to go back to the days where nobody really knew anything.
Yeah.
Now everybody's an expert.
Yeah.
Everybody's an expert. It's like, well, you know, why'd you vote this way? It's like, you know, because of this right here. Hey, did you know? Look it up. Bam, we got to get into it deep. You know, there was once upon a time where people just said, like, you know what? I don't know too much about that subject. But now everybody's just an expert about everything.
Yeah.
And I keep on telling people, listen, most of life you're not going to know. You're going to know what people tell you. All that Google stuff. There's a young man. He joined the military. Got a lot of love for this guy, and he's really into Chicano history. And he had told me, he's all like, do not come up to me. He didn't tell me this, right?
Yeah.
But he was saying this on his YouTube channel before he joined the military. He's all like, do not come up to me saying that you Googled this or you Googled that. And he said, because back in 2011, when I was getting into this, you Googled Chicano history and you wouldn't find anything on there.
Yeah.
And that's when he said, somebody put that in there. So don't make it seem like there's no flaws across the board. It could be 100% true. It could be 100% lie. It could be somewhere in between that. It could be embellishments all over the place. So, but it's crazy because everything has become so politicized now. And people are really planting flags and saying like, oh, okay, man, you're the problem. You're the problem.
Yeah,
You're part of the problem and all that stuff. And it's like, I like what you said right there. Where it's like, you know what? You close current, you vote, do what you do, you get out. However it goes, it goes. And hey, God bless us all.
I never voted until after I got out of prison and off of federal probation because I found out that I could vote. I thought once a felon, you can never, and that's a big lie. A lot of people still believe it to this day. They think just because they have a felony, they can never vote. But as long as you're not on parole or probation. So I started voting, for the presidents and all that stuff like that. And here's the thing, right, is I would have my reason to vote who I voted for, but I wouldn't cry for the next 4 years. If it didn't go my way, I'm like, hey, man, I did my part. That's all I can do is vote. That's all I can do other than that, and sit there and cry, and it just doesn't make no sense, and even further, when you want to kill the person that is sitting in the Oval Office, I'm just like, dude, I wasn't so happy with Biden, but I'm not sitting there crying about it, it is what it is,
You know what you can do, Pastor? You could wear a certain T-shirt and flip off the camera because that seems that seems okay. See that's the thing. It's like people wear a T-shirt or they'll do something like that, and I tell them, they make it seem like, okay, thank you, hero. You didn't change anything.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything. You're making it seem like it's because I'm fighting. You're not fighting. You're wearing a T-shirt. You're flipping off cameras. You're not.
You're wearing a T-shirt.
You're not fighting if you want to get involved.
Or
then
a bumper sticker?
Or a bumper sticker, right? If you want to get involved, then truly get involved politically, right? But because you wear a hat, you throw a hat on, or you throw a T-shirt on, or you make a song, or you're not in any type of fight. All you're doing is tugging on the strings of weak-minded people that don't know how to emotionally control themselves.
Trying to be an activist.
And now, you find somebody who doesn't like it. Now both of you guys are yelling at each other, screaming at each other. Who knows if it gets physical? You go home and you feel like you were actually part of a fight.
Like you did something.
Like you did something, but you guys didn't do anything.
Nothing happened.
You think it's the sports syndrome? It's like, we won. You didn't play.
Yeah.
You didn't play.
How dare you, Angel? When my team wins, I feel like I won. I feel like I won.
But you do.
No, I
but
get
if you notice, when your team loses, you said, oh, man, they lost.
Oh,
You don't say we.
No. I don't use we to begin with.
Huh?
I don't use
No, I'm
we
saying
to
people
begin.
that do.
When the Raiders play, it's the Raiders. I'm not oh man, we won or we lost. The same thing with the Lakers and the Dodgers. It's not a we thing because I ain't playing. So I don't use we.
A lot of people do.
I know they do, and I'm like, you won?
You say we?
I'm a wee guy.
You're a we guy?
I'm a wee guy.
Are you a we
You're a
guy?
we guy?
No, I'm more than that. I'm them. I am. No, not even that. It's them and I. When they lost, they lost. when they won, I won. I know, I won. It's like, heck yeah, I won.
He is hardcore. He flew to Pittsburgh to see the Steelers play.
Really?
Twice.
Steeler fan?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, and I'm going again probably this season.
Why?
It's coming.
How are you from Southern California and born and raised in the 80s, and you're a Steeler fan?
Yeah.
I can understand.
From the 70s,
I
they
can
were on a
understand
crap
the
game.
Chargers or the Raiders or the Rams, but how did you end up as a Steeler? Did you grow up in Long Beach?
No. So I mean, Chargers were always confined to San Diego.
Okay, yes,
right.
I agree.
Even though
Before they moved.
Always.
right,
Always.
even though they really started in Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
Right, for one
yes.
season, but they were always confined in San Diego. So I picked up football a little bit later in my life, and by that time, the Raiders and the Rams had both moved.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't grow up, with
It makes sense.
yeah, it's not like I all my family's from Mexico. You know, they didn't come in loving American football or anything of that sort. Boxing was huge, especially with Julio Cesar Chavez doing his thing, and then De La Hoya.
De La Hoya.
And then my grandma loving lucha libre. Yeah, it was great. It was great. And so I picked it up a little bit later. And I remember going to a Super Bowl party the year that the Steelers were playing the Cowboys. I think that was 95, 96, right?
Yeah.
And
O'Donnell was the quarterback, I think, or something.
Sunset
Did they
Freedom
lose?
Eagles fan.
for the Steelers, I think it was Cordell Stewart.
Oh,
I think it was
Wow. Forgot about that dude, bro. That dude was bad.
Yeah.
Slash. He would have done a lot better in today's NFL
absolutely.
because you know the play calling would have been different because he used to run a lot. But I remember going to a Super
Stewart, I
Bowl
forgot
party,
about him.
to a Super Bowl party, and I just wanted to be a rebel because everybody there was Cowboys. Everybody there was Cowboy, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know who the other team is. I'm just gonna root for the other team, just because everybody here is going for the Cowboys, and that other team happened to be the Steelers. And that was the first game that I watched from beginning to end with no breaks.
Yeah.
And I just really now the Steelers.
There was no pause before.
Now,
How old were you?
right, exactly. Ah,
was live
gosh,
TV.
I don't remember how old I was.
You were an adult already?
No.
95, you
No,
said.
this is the 90s.
He said 95.
Yeah. No, I was still young, but that was the first game that I watched from beginning
13?
to end.
Probably.
Depending what year it was.
Because 95, I was 17, and I'm 40. I'm 48.
Yeah. 95, I was 17.
Okay, so I was somewhere,
Oh, you were
just a
young,
few
young.
years
Yeah.
under that. Yeah. And that was the first game I watched from beginning to end. And I actually enjoyed it, even though the Steelers lost. And I was just like, hey, you know what? Next season, I want to watch a little football. You know, so when the season came around, I mean, I knew of football.
But you didn't get into it.
Right. So when the following season came around, I was like, what team do I want to root for? And I happened to turn it on, and the Steelers were playing. I'm like, hey, that was the team I was rooting for. And that was it.
Yeah,
you know,
that was
Been
it.
a fan since.
and that was all she wrote.
So,
you know?
final question on the Steelers for me. How you feel about Tomlin retiring?
I think he felt like he had to.
Do you think it was a smart decision on his part?
Gosh, man. Yes, yes, because the city was coming down on him. The fan base just wasn't having it anymore. The fan base was going after everybody except Tomlin. And then when there was nobody else to go after, 100% of the focus came down
I couldn't
on him
believe it.
specifically. And everybody was sick and tired of like, hey, he's never had a losing season.
Exactly.
Steeler fans were fed up with that, like completely. So, yeah, I don't think the city was embracing
I mean,
him anymore.
in all reality, though, that's a very true statement. He's possibly been, in my lifetime, been the best Steeler coach I've seen.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guy was what, 15, 20 years?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was the longest reigning Steeler
Is it
quarterback.
four?
Yeah.
Was it four coaches that the Steelers have had?
Let me see. They had Cowher.
Cowher
before
was
that.
right, yeah.
They had what's his name? Chuck
Noll.
Noll.
And then the one before it, I
And
don't
then
know.
that one before that, I don't know. So yeah, it was four.
It's not very many.
It's
But
not
I mean,
many. No,
he's
they
had
don't
a-
switch quarterbacks.
That's what really tripped me out. That's why I asked that, because I've talked to a couple Steeler fans, and they're like, yeah, man, I'm glad he hung it up because he's hurting us. I'm like, hurting you? What? I don't understand it. But I get it.
Their Steeler fans are going to appreciate what he did years from now.
Absolutely.
You know, years from now, when it's fresh, it's like, yeah, the heck with that guy. Get him out of here. We need to start winning. You know, but years from now, they'll
he
appreciate
did his
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did his
You know, like these older coaches, I think I can imagine how difficult it is coming from a previous generation, coaching in a generation of these young players so entitled. Yeah, you know, and just this very, very different cultural mindset these players. Because there was a time, the Rices are gone. The days of Jerry Rice are gone. I remember watching Terrell Owens coming in. I remember watching the way he acted. I remember watching Deshaun Johnson at times, and watching some of these extremely talented players. But their personality, their character, and then at basketball, you got the Allen Iversons that come in. And it was right around the same time. and it changed. And I wondered, like, you know, with Tomlin, it's got to be a hard thing. Because I was going to ask you guys about something. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Rise Up Kings. Have you guys ever heard of that ministry?
No.
It's a men's ministry. It's a men's business and faith ministry. And because you're talking about mud runs, so they do camps where you go, like you can go and father and son, or you can go with a group of men from the church. And for 2 days, it's mud runs. It's all this obstacle courses and all, and they break you down the whole way through. And then the next day and a half is ministry.
What's it called?
It's called Rise Up Kings.
Oh, never heard of it.
And so it's if you check it out, there's videos on their YouTube. I've actually talked to one of the leaders there, and it's a mix, and so you get a lot of young business people, but you also get a lot of pastors and everyone else. And they'll bring churches in. But when I was talking to them, they said, we do a lot of father and son because of the cultural gap and bringing them in and be able to have that environment of just, of that fight, you know, together. I don't know if you guys, because you were talking about the mud run.
What's up, Fernando Dominguez.
Hey, Fernando Dominguez. How you doing, brother? I actually had him on the channel a few times. Yeah. Good dude right there.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a great thing.
Has he barbecued for you yet, though?
No. Now that you tell me that, brother, you're holding out. I'm not down with that, man. Okay, so now you're just like 80% okay. Okay, don't lose another 10%. We'll work our way down to 70. No, you know what? I'm really for men becoming men, and I think that's very important. And
it's sad that we have to say that now.
It's very unfortunate because for many years now, it's more feminizing men, and it becomes a cooler thing. Like, oh, you know, who says you got to be macho? Who says you? As a matter of fact, it's looked at as toxic now, right?
Yeah.
It's,
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the house is equal partner, equal. It's like, well, somebody needs to lead. I mean, you know, when a decision is made, a decision has to be made. How do you equal, right? And it's unfortunate. So I'm down with men becoming men, and I think it's very important for fathers and sons. And I'm gonna look into that because men definitely need to
man up,
and go back to what your role is meant for. And I say this. I once a month I do Men Rule the World, where we just get together and talk about man stuff. And I always say this, and it's crazy to think about this. Us as men, we were born as the most powerful thing on planet Earth. There's nothing more powerful than a man, right? Which, I mean, I'm not talking about physically. I mean, physically, you know, like a lion or gorilla or something, but with our minds, with everything put together, there is nothing more powerful than being a man.
Yeah. But there's responsibility that comes with that.
There's definitely responsibility that comes with it. But what are we doing with it?
Yeah.
You know, we're the most powerful things on planet Earth. What are we doing with it?
My thing is this, is that obviously, God didn't give men stronger muscles, stronger endurance, just so we can, take our shirts off and flex? He gave it to us because we were to be leaders and protectors. That's why. That's why the male was made stronger, to be a protector and to do those things, to do the hard stuff that men need to do, right? And we want to go against that. Not us, you know, but society.
Yeah.
Our poetic here says, I blame the metrosexual stuff from early 2000s. They're all parents now. And I've said this before, like, we look at the children of today, let's stop blaming everybody else. Let's blame my generation. Because it's us that are parenting these children. But anyways, it goes back to what you were talking about on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something that doesn't happen boom in your face like a firework.
It's slow.
It just slow. It's and like Mickey and myself were talking on the way home. I was just like, for me, everything that you said, there was a lot of stuff you said, obviously, but for me, the example is the frog in the water, right?
Yeah.
So you put a frog in hot water, he immediately jumps out. You put a frog in the cold water, turn the burner on. By the time he realizes he got to go, it's been too late. That's what we're living in today. Yeah. These children were marinating. Like I said, it's great for us to be able to do more than what we came up with. And for some people, that's poverty to an apartment. You know what I'm saying? I think we did too good of a job of giving our children. And I'm not saying any of us. I know I'm at fault for it. I know I've let this go where I knew I shouldn't have in the moment. And it should have been not sparing the rod, if you want to use biblical terms. And it was just like I did spare the rod, and it screwed up a lineage here. Yeah. And then we had to go and fix that over here. And it's very unfortunate.
That's why I said it on Sunday. And it's like, it was a rebuke to men. Mm-hmm. Because I said, you know what? I said, we all have to stand before God, our wives or the women and everything. But God looked at Adam when Eve ate the fruit. Yeah. He says, Adam, where are you? And I believe in the same way, us as men, God is going to say, you know what? You led your family to that. You led that. That's on you, because I told you to be the leader of this household. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with being a man. Yeah. But we have to own it.
Especially when we find out what a man is. Because I don't know about you guys, but I remember my dad.
What is a man?
My dad taught me that a man is one who can handle these. And when I read Ed Cole's Maximize Manhood, I realized immediately I'm nowhere of what God considers a man. Yeah. And then you go read the book Courage, and then you start to build. And I've been building being a man since.
My greatest example of a man is Jesus, and he didn't fight nobody.
Yeah.
He's the greatest example to ever walk this earth of what a man is, because he stood his ground. Good. He didn't compromise. Mm-hmm. And he was a perfect example, you know.
Yeah, there's this documentary I watched that people were asking me had I seen it. They're like, hey, check it out, man. Let us know what you think about it. It's called Inside the Manosphere. On Netflix. Okay.
Inside the what?
Inside the Manosphere.
Huh. Never heard of it.
Yeah, Inside the Manosphere. So it's these guys that I've never heard of, but apparently they're extremely popular, right? Just like we were talking about earlier. And it's a bunch of dudes that are talking to or mentoring through social media young men, right?
Yeah.
Teaching them how to be men. But in reality, they're not teaching them how to be men. They're just teaching them how to work out and get rich and score chicks. That's really what it all is. Because, you know, on my channel, I have brought up like, hey, you know, men need to be men and, you know, things of that sort. So they're asking, you know, people kept asking me, hey, what do you think about Inside the Manosphere? I've never seen it. I went ahead, I watched it. I'm like, okay, this is not what I'm talking about at all whatsoever. These guys are just like, okay, see how many chicks you can get a good physique, make some money, you know? And it's like, no, that's nowhere what I'm talking about whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so you also have that side of the coin as well. So
like the Andrew Tate side, like, right?
Yeah, like one of those guys. He wasn't on there, but it was a couple of other guys, like I said, that I've never really heard of.
Yeah.
But apparently they're huge, right? It's like, oh, okay, well, now there's this side as well. And it's always going to be the guys that don't have a good father at home that are going to start following these guys. And that's where I'm just kind of like, that's the unfortunate part. And the unfortunate part of the influence.
Jose Chicano says, discipline and correction have become taboo in the body of Christ. Training men to be godly men requires the full scope of the word of the male role. Exactly.
Well, I like what Tino said. Yeah. He said, like, hey, you know what? Why are we blaming youngsters?
Yeah.
As adults, we allowed it to go down this route.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems like every generation is
But I think the
that.
absence of fathers, the absence of men, and the ones that were there were just sitting there drunk and chasing women.
Right.
And so these boys are growing up and they have no idea what they're doing. And they're either going to copy dad or just going to copy mom. A lot of them just copy mom because that's all they had.
You know? Right.
You know, I had a conversation with my son, and it was a rough one. It was last night, and we spoke today. You know, I could still tell he was, feeling a little bit, but because the environment, as far as in work of what I do, it's very competitive. I'm used to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to that growing up. That it was sports, it was whatever it was. That wasn't new to me. My son being 23, it is new. And that competitive side, and I was very careful, but I had to lay into him some things because I seen, and I told him, I said, son, you are heading down a path because you're doing a couple of things, but where is the drive? Where is that masculine drive? I'm not talking punching stuff. I'm talking drive for legacy, for family, for push, for, I've said this to men. There's no Proverbs 31 for men in the Bible. There's no Proverbs 31 for men. You know what it says? Teach, train, equip. That's our Proverbs 31. And at the end, what is our Proverbs 31 is our family coming back. Exactly what I loved your message on Sunday. I know you texted me. I forgot to respond back. You're like, what was it? I loved your message on Sunday. If you haven't heard
rebuke
it,
to the men.
Yeah, if you haven't heard it, guys, go and listen to it this past Sunday. Every man needs to listen to it, and
It hurt my meow.
but I just grilled into him last night, and he, he's crying, he's mad. And I told him, I said, I know you're mad at me. I'm trying to stir in you something that you don't understand, son. That this world and culture didn't give you. I've got to make sure that that's there. That's my job.
The whole Rocky quote when he tells his son.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that.
I got a better one with Stallone, Over the Top.
Yeah.
What he put his son through.
Yeah.
A lot of people miss that message. He's reuniting with his son. It's just him and his son, and then he's telling his son, "Hey, do you feel good? Do you feel strong?" So I'm like, yeah, why? He's all like, come on, come back inside. And there's the 80s, right? So it's like, you got kids with with that crazy hair and everything. And he's all like, hey, you kids ever arm wrestle? Let's go, 10-1 odds. My 10 to your 1, right? Let's go. Just get him on the arm table, right? And his son is he's a sissy because he grew up super rich and spoiled and bratty. He has adults calling him sir throughout his whole life. And it became too much to him to a point where he started crying.
How are you with arm wrestling?
I don't know.
We got a brother here, Eduardo. He's 5-0.
We call him Lettuce Man.
5-0.
We call him Lettuce Man.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to head out of here, man.
Yeah.
You call
5-0.
Yeah, you call him up, but I'm going to head out of here.
But no, I wanted to say something. I want to finish because in what I was saying in this, I think the generation before our fathers were strong. Our fathers were in our face, but our fathers didn't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
At all.
At all.
And I was very strategic and very careful. And I noticed that last night. I didn't catch. I've watched it, but
Mom was our communicator. Dad was a hammer.
Yeah, because I remember Dad coming down, and he needed to.
Yeah.
But what he said, some of it stuck with me as like a PTSD through the years. And I had to work through some of that in my own life. Yeah. And so when I was with my son last night, and as I'm wording things, I just felt the Holy Spirit kind of like, okay, turn left, turn right, move here, move there. Because I never, and in the middle of everything I'm telling them, I was telling them, I said, I didn't say I don't believe in you. I never said you can't. I'm telling you, you can. I am telling you, you are able to. I know what you're capable of. Son, you were the smartest kid I know. You were and I'm at the same time, but I'm cutting it. And he's just, it was a moment last night that I needed to lay into. And my wife's just looking at me, and afterwards she was like, I couldn't have done that. No. No, you could not have done that.
Because it wasn't her role.
Exactly.
Right.
That was Dad. But I never broke him. I didn't break him. He went up. I didn't see him. All day long, I was at the office, came back. He didn't come down. And then when he came down ready to go to work.
Yeah, there's things that a dad can say that mom could say it a million times. It don't matter. I remember the first time, like it was just something trivial. My dad told me he was with his friends. This was before when he used to drink, before he was a Christian, and he's with his friends drinking in the backyard, and they have el pato, the duck chili. It's like yellow.
Yeah, yes.
He had it in a bowl, and they're just eating chips. And he says, "Mijo, try this." I was like, "No." He goes, "Mijo, you eat that, you're a man." Something simple as that. And I ate it. At first, I tipped it. And he's like, no. Put that thing in there. And I ate it, and it wasn't that hot. It ain't that hot, right?
No, it's not hot
but
at all.
my God, that was about 50 years ago. And I will never forget that feeling when he says, "You're a man, mijo." That meant everything. When a father tells you that, now it's different if mom would have said that. When dad says that means something, man.
Boys in the Hood. When if you remember, she drops off Trey, and he says, "What you got to say?" or something like that. She's always like, "You said, I can't never teach him how to be a man."
Yeah.
Right.
And so Mickey's epiphany of that, because Mickey grew up in a single parent home where it was only with no dad, so she never had the man authority.
Yeah.
So whenever I came into the picture, right, and it was us raising our children, she thought she was the one in control. And in my younger years, that's how it was. I just wanted to drink, and again, it's my fault. I'll take that. But then when we got delivered and things needed to start changing, and it's like, how can you ever tell me to be a dad when you've never even had one? You know what I'm saying? And it was just like when she started to realize, like, you know what, he's right. Like, and in counseling, I've heard her tell women, like, didn't you say that you've never had a dad? Yeah. So you don't know what a good husband looks like, right? And then she was like, well, I guess I don't. But yet you're telling him how to be a good husband. How is that possible? And then she would say that about the dad.
That's good.
She would say that about the dad. Just like Tino told me, like, you're telling him how to be a dad. For one, you're not a man, so you don't know what it takes to be a dad. And then for two, you never even saw one, so how can you tell him how to be one? And to hear her say that is like, dang, man, like life had changed. And that's what it is. And so, like, we're in a little situation right now. We're in an opportunity, excuse my language. We're in an opportunity right now, and it's rough for mom. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot where for me, it's like, okay, cool. You want
growth season.
Yeah, you want to see what it's like. Go see what it's like. You're not gonna like it just the way I didn't. But hey, man, we're all knuckleheads at some point. So, and that's where we come together. Being a man, I think being the strongest man in a home really helps when the cheerleader is cheering you on at the fullest.
And, you know, I think it goes to, I remember hearing this a lot, and it was all I want to give my kids everything that I didn't have. And that is poison. That does a lot wrong, because you're spoiling your kid. It's like, hey, I'm going to give my kids this because I know what it's like not to have it. Exactly. You know what it's like not to have it. They don't.
They don't.
So you're expecting them to appreciate whatever
And
this
instead it
is.
spoils.
Yeah, you're expecting them to appreciate this, whatever this is, and then you look at them and they're not appreciating it because they don't know what it's like not to have it. You know. Instead, equip them. Instead of giving them what you didn't have, equip them, to have the strength, the guidance, the fortitude, the ability to overcome obstacles. Don't remove the obstacles from life, and say, like, I want them to have, an easier path. No. Don't remove the obstacles in life. Equip them with the fortitude to conquer those obstacles. Right? And regardless, because, you might not even be here. Who knows, right? If the good Lord calls you up before then. But if you keep on removing obstacles from their life, instead of equipping them in here and here to conquer the obstacles, one day when they come up to an obstacle and you're not there, they're just going to crumble.
That's true.
They're so brittle, they're going to crumble. It's like, man, dad's not here, mom's not here, and I don't know what to do. It's like, no, you equip them.
And that's biblical, because even in the book of Acts, when they were thrown in jail, they didn't pray that, God, take away these obstacles. And no, they didn't say that. They said, give us boldness to get through it.
Right.
And so it's a biblical thing, you know. It's a biblical thing, you know. Real quick, Constance Bagain says how we natives have a saying: test a man by his handshake and the roughness on the hands. Jose Chicano says we have to leave a legacy. 2 Timothy 2:2, and what you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. Yeah.
You know, because we were saying the story you're saying about Dad, and I remember Dad. There's certain things like Dad shaved me for the first time. Like I remember that. You know, you're not going to shave yourself. I'm going to shave you. I did that with my boys. I shaved them. And there were certain things that I remember growing up that Dad would, like little indicators, little things that he would put. But I also realized that our dad's evolution as we got older, as he got older, it was different what he called men at this older age than what he said was a man at a younger age.
Yeah, of course.
Wisdom, you know. And I think we, as men, you know, if you're watching on this channel, let's be careful what we call a man, and let's be careful to make sure that we, as dads, we're cheerleading the right things, and at the same time make that a balanced, you know, a balanced thing. Like even, you know, like last night when I was there was a lot I was processing all day. Just out, you know, when you have those conversations with your kids and you process afterwards, and you know, and I told him, I said, what are you going to do if I'm not here?
Yeah.
If I went to sleep tonight and I didn't wake up, I said, son, ain't nobody going to talk to you like this. Ain't nobody going to talk to you like this. I know you're mad at me. I said, I told him, I said, I know you want to hit me. I could care less.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to talk to you like this. And when it's said and done, you know, I'm going to tell you what it is because I love you. And just making sure it's as well, because it's that strength, it's that clarity of communication that I think, because I wrote something earlier we were talking about. I hear a lot of morality coming out of the right. I hear a lot of morality coming out of, you know, and it's morality, man. It's, you know, we got to go back to morality. Now, I love morality in its context. But morality is not the kingdom message either. And I think morality can be its own gospel message that can be very, very foggy in today's culture, because now we're preaching morality and not gospel. And I think we need to be very careful as men. You know, just because we're maneuvering in a time right now that's very tricky. But being able to have that, you know, talking about men, communication, clear communication,
Absolutely.
and making sure, like Proverbs gives you a shoe, but you decide whether you want it. If you don't want it, kick it off. Here's another one. You know, and as fathers, we have to give our kids the option. Son, I'm telling you what shoes you have on. I didn't say that it's you. You know, and being able to walk them through that. And I think that's so important.
I heard a quote, I'm probably going to butcher it, but I'll try to get it, where it said that your father will be the only man in the world that really wants you to succeed more than he ever did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody else tells you that-
there'll be no other man wanting you to succeed more than him
Yeah.
beside your dad.
Yeah.
For me, I just loved conversation. I love communication around my table. It's what I missed. I never thought about it until you said something right now, but you said that your mom was a communicator. I mean, I also didn't give my parents a chance, bro. I left when I was 14. So there was a point that me and Mickey, when we were raising our first 14-year-old, it was like, she's like, well, what did you do? I said, man, I was gone. I was selling dope. You know what I mean? I was doing what I had to. So anyways, it was a stupid decision. That's not what I'm getting at. But at my table for many, many years, even when I was an alcoholic, all communication went around our table, whether we agreed with it or we didn't agree with it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, why do you feel that way? So like my oldest son, when a love is love really started being a big thing, he was like, it's what he chooses. And I was just like, and me and Mickey would get into it, and I'd be like, dude, he didn't get that from me. There's no way you got that from me. And she was like, well, he didn't get it from me, so where did he get it from? That's when we didn't even realize we're battling this world, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, it was like, okay, son, that's how you feel. Why do you feel that way? And then he would tell us.
Yeah.
So whether we agree with it or we don't agree with it, there's some things that my brainiac son, I've told you guys before, my third one, Gabriel, he comes in with some democratic stuff that really blows my brain. I'm like, bro, why do you think that way? I said, you know what? Excuse the face. I apologize to you. That's not how I should have came at you. I'll straighten up like this. And I said, explain to me why you're thinking that way.
Yeah.
And then he says, well, it's because, and then he explains it. And then I say, okay. And then they're waiting for me because I always have something to say. And they're waiting. And that's my opportunity for me to just shut my mouth and say, okay, son, you know, man, hey, stand firm. And that's what it is. So that's one of the biggest things I've learned in my fatherhood is talk about it all.
Yeah.
Talk about how mad you are. Talk about how you do want to hit me. Unfortunately, my children have. And it's, again, I might have been to blame for it. I might have not been to blame for it. Maybe I let it go too long. And it's a lot, bro. I'm not getting into all that. But it's something I'll never change ever in my life. And it's just going to continue to prove. I know that one day when they do become fathers, you know what's going to be really awesome to see is when I show up and there's grandkids and my children and wives, daughter-in-laws, and there's just tons of communication going around the table about things we like and we don't like. I think that'll all be worth it when I get to that point right there.
Man, I wonder if one of my sons ever felt like hitting me. Man, I dare one of you more try to hit me, man. Actually, my youngest one, he's got some size on him now. Hey, I don't want to pivot too much, but Pastor, you and I, we do Bible talk once a month.
Yes.
And I do got a question here for you guys that are much more advanced, right, than I am. And I do want to throw this question out there. And that is, how do you read the Bible? Now, I know that's kind of just like a broad question, like, what do you mean, you start reading? But as you know, Pastor, I read the Bible from beginning to end, and when I finished it, I was like, wow, I don't know a dang thing. You know? I was like, I don't know anything. Now, yeah, it's like, I don't know anything, you know? So now I just kind of open it up, and I just kind of flip through the pages, and it's like, okay, boom, I just pick a chapter, boom, let's go. Bam, hit that chapter, you know, every night. Okay, close it. Do I hit the very next chapter the next night? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'll just go ahead and open it. Something, okay, cool, let's see. Bam. But how does one read the Bible? How do you guys read the Bible? If somebody says like, okay, cool. Because, you know, when you give your life to God, usually a church will go ahead and give you a Bible. You guys gave me a Bible.
Did we?
Yeah. You guys gave me a Bible at the old building.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, you know, hey, get into the Word every night. Here's a Bible, get into the Word every night. Just open up and start reading. But to be more specific, how do you guys recommend that somebody reads the Bible?
We got like 9 minutes left, so it's going to be a perfect segue to answer that.
My first question is, what are we talking about? Are we talking about people seasoned? Are we talking about milk feeders? Or are we talking meat eaters? Are we talking people who are baby Christians? Or are we talking people who...
Yeah, somebody...
People who have been in this for about a year?
No, let's say somebody's watching
years.
this right now and saying like, man, you know what? I should start reading the Bible. I should really start going to church, and I got to dust off the Bible. Okay. What do you recommend?
My go-to for that... I'm the non-pastor in the room, so I'll go first. My go-to for that, when I teach people, like, you want to get into the Word, I do not like the saying, I don't read the Word as much as I should. I don't like that saying, because there's not a person in this world, I don't care who you are, that reads the Word as much as we should.
That's good.
The other thing is if you're coming into that with the scenario you explained, my go-to would be Proverbs and Psalms a day. So if you open up the book of Psalms, there's 31 Proverbs. If you open up the book of Proverbs, there's 31 Proverbs. So today is the 19th, correct? Am I correct about that? Today is the 19th?
Yeah.
So today you read Proverbs chapter 19. Mm-hmm. And so start there. Gain wisdom. Learn how to worship. Read a psalm a day. I don't care where you start in Psalms, just whenever you read, whatever day it is, read that proverb, and then pick a psalm and go in line. Learn how to worship. So that gives you wisdom and it gives you worship. For the more seasoned people, how do I read my word? This is how I read my word. I go to the YouVersion app, and my brain, I've done a lot of drugs, my brain will flow into the world, just yonder and forget what I'm doing, and I will get lost. So I follow a biblical plan. And I do the Bible every year, once a year, from beginning to end. I like chronological order, but sometimes I switch it up. I read all versions of it. Last year I did ESV. This year I went back into the New Kings because I need to be slapped myself. And so the thing about it is I follow a plan. Today, for example, I read Psalms. There's three chapters that I need to read, and it's Psalms 131, 138, and 139. And that's all I'm doing for today. And I'll meditate on that all day, and that's how I go. So I think that plans are very structured unless you can get into a Bible study, and then they're going to structure it for you. Opening up the Bible and just starting to read is very, very difficult unless you have that focus, which most people I've met do not.
Okay.
That's how I would go. I know that was probably a lot, but start off with a proverb and a psalm.
Just in case anybody's wondering, I did not read the Bible from beginning to end in one day. It took me a while, but
Takes me a year.
That's what I was gonna do. And I set to do it, and I did it, and I realized I don't know anything even after reading the whole thing. So now, for like 2 years now, I'm just reading. But same question.
Same thing as far as for me, it's simple. Like if it's somebody brand new and they're reading, Proverbs to me, basic wisdom, and then I'll tell them read James and Proverbs. The one thing I always tell people, especially with brand new Christians that are coming in, and let's say they're in the church. I'll use that analogy. Brand new Christian. My advice that you don't get a Bible that has any commentaries and doesn't have any other writings of any other opinion. Go to the dollar store and get a spiral notebook. And my brothers heard me say this a million times in our discipleship class. I tell them. And write it. Take 15 minutes, put a timer on, and go to the Gospel of Mark because it's the smallest one, and get the words of Jesus in you. And write it for 15 minutes. Read it, and then write it down word for word. Because if you can begin to do that, you will build that self-defense mechanism of Scripture misquoted. You will build that self-mechanism if it's a Christian that's maybe been saved already in the church for a while, never done anything like that. You're going to catch how many scriptures you misquote or misunderstood. And the third part, you will find why that scripture makes sense to work. Most of the time we quote scriptures that it's a powerful drop mic moment, but that wasn't the context. If you read right before and you read right after, now you'll find out why that scripture is a drop mic moment, because now you'll learn how to use it. And so those three things in the life of a person are huge. And so I this is my third year going through the Bible straight. And that's pretty much like, as far as when I'm reading it, how I read the Bible, and somebody more seasoned, my advice to you is read it through the lens of the writer.
Absolutely.
You can't read it any other way.
Because of the character.
Exactly. Besides you're beginning, you're starting to understand that. But I'm saying somebody more seasoned. If you've never read your Bible, looking at it and going, okay, why is it in Genesis every so often I'm coming across a section that's having names? Why is it when I'm reading in this, why is this information added? You talked about it, in Genesis, in the story of Abraham and Lot. Ask yourself the questions of why. If you're writing this, why? Why did you include this? Why is this? And read it through the lens of the writer. Put yourself there for a moment. Because don't forget, these are real human beings living through real situations. So take a little bit of just slow down and mull on that thought of why that? And that'd be, for somebody more seasoned, you want to chew on that, flip it over, stop looking, and that's all. There's a lot of other things to it, but just in a basic perspective, try to read it through the lens of who's writing it and ask yourself some of those questions.
Okay. Pastor, I've told you this. I've said, listen, going to church, If that's the only way you're getting the word from the Bible, and
Yeah.
I've told you this, Pastor, I said, when I started reading the Bible, I'm like, wait a second. It's not what the Bible said. I'm looking at what
Yeah.
it says now, but, certain pastors are up there preaching.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a second. I just went to that scripture. That's not what it said.
It's out of context.
Right? So, but a lot of people just get it that way. Like, hey, I was fed. And in many ways, you probably were, but you got to read it for yourself.
Yeah. I tell people all the time on Sunday, don't take it just because I said it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, for me to answer that question, I'm going to just give my own experience. Mine's a little different. I was in solitary confinement when I got saved. My first Bible that I had an opportunity to get my hands on was a Good News Bible, which is a very simple Bible. But I read it from beginning to end in 45 days. As soon as I read it again, all over again. So I kind of read it all the way through. Now I'm glad I did it because it gave me an overview. I didn't have a full understanding, but it gave me an overview of what this book's about. Then, by the time then my parents sent me a King James, the therefores and thous and,
Oh, yeah.
So, but because I
good.
read the Good News Bible, that helped me because then as I'm reading the King James, I was understanding some of it because of me reading that. Then somebody got me I don't know how they got it in, but it was an NIV study Bible, meaning the top half was Bible, the bottom part was notes. And I read it front to back, every verse, every note. So by this time, I'm like, in my first year of being saved, and the Good News Bible twice, the King James Bible, and now I had the NIV Bible, and I read it from beginning to end. I'm glad I got that study Bible later on, not in the beginning. Because then when I had the study Bible, it intrigued me because I noticed when it would say they went through Canaan, they fought the Edomites. So that made me say, you know what? Every time I come across a place, I'm going to go to the back of the Bible and start to understand the geography of this thing. You know, so every time it mentioned a place, a nation, a kingdom, I would go to the back and get an idea of where that place was or what they were talking about. It says they crossed the Jordan, or they, where's the Jordan at? Or they, came out of, of Egypt. Where's Egypt at? And so by the time I was 2 years, 3 years in the Lord, I had understood the geography when the names, so-and-so begat so-and-so, I'm like, this must be important. So I started to write those names down, and I would write it down. And then it would say, for instance, Lot, like I preached about Lot, that out of the daughters came the Ammonites and the Moabites. So I'm like, let me put a pin on that. And then later on, I'm reading, and it said that the Moabites were not allowing the Hebrews to pass through. I'm like, wait a second, Moabites, wait a second. And I go back to my notes.
Start connecting dots.
That's crazy. That's from Lot. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I do it. How do I study now as a Christian since 2004? Now I'm very selective. I will buy a Bible just to learn about healing,
Oh, okay.
or demons or whatever. And I will buy that Bible and mark that Bible up. This is my demon Bible. This is my this, and I will just study that stuff. So I study a little
super
different
awesome.
now.
I have a Nephilim Bible. I have
I told you this
it's
year.
all highlighted just for that.
Remember, I told you both. I said this year when I read Genesis, I was focused so much. I read Genesis this time around that I focused on the connection of Genesis to all the Gospels.
Yeah.
And there is so much of what goes on in Genesis to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's just the same story except with Jesus. It's amazing. So my way of studying, like David said, my life today is it's different because we grow.
We got to wrap this up, man. I wish we could keep talking. Really enjoyed having
Thank
you
you
here.
so very much.
Easy to another hour, man.
Easily.
Yeah, man.
I
It
see
was-
everything you guys are posting. Jose Chicano, Michael Heiser that's one of my champions, man.
Yep.
So all of you guys, thank you so much for spending time with us. Thank you, Cholo, for being here,
Yes.
and
It was
we
a
appreciate
pleasure.
you.
It was an
and-
honor.
Yeah, and it's
It was ours, brother.
yeah.
Thank you.
So God bless you guys. I will say this: we only got one super chat the whole time. That's messed up, man. But I'm just saying.
It was the cowboy. It was the white herb super cat.
Yeah,
Too. Yeah.
that was it. So, but like I said, God bless you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next Tuesday. This is Let's Just
Peace.
Talk. And
Be
God
blessed.
bless you. I'm going to let the little mic show for 5 minutes in case you felt bad and want to give a super
Yeah.
chat.
And you should.
You should feel bad.
You should feel.
You should
terrible
feel bad.
bad, yes.
You should
All
feel bad that you want to see a
God
cat.
bless.
Thou shalt have no other meows before me. Brothers and sisters, today is the days and array of salvation. Brothers and sisters, today is the days and array of salvation.